Guys, I thought we'd do kind of a fun Friday art project today, and we could go over a kind of artwork called Pop Art and make some really cool, colorful emojis today. So if you don't know what pop art is, I am going to let you know. We're going to take a quick look at some examples here. As I said, we're doing pop art emojis, and pop art is a form of artwork that comes from something that is popular in our culture. So if we look at all these examples that just popped up, we saw things ranging from donuts and bananas to Mickey Mouse. Some of our most famous artists who created this, or at least one of them, is Andy Warhol, and he created those Campbell's soup cans, Miss Marilyn Monroe, and the bananas that we see pictured here. Then people have taken it and they've continued to create artworks out of things that are popular. And while I was looking at these very colorful examples, noticing how many colors are used, how often the thing is repeated, and thinking to myself, what's something that's popular that the kids would be interested in? I thought of emojis. I thought they would be a really fun way for us to do some pop art. I'm going to let you choose 4 emojis today, and we're going to kind of make them in 4 little boxes on one piece of paper using those bright colors. You can do 4 different emojis. You can make all the emojis yellow, but all the backgrounds have to be a different color to incorporate those bright colors. We're now going to look at what supplies we need to create this artwork. Alright, so supplies today are super simple. We're going to need a pencil, a sheet of paper, some crayons, and then something to trace around. I just have a lid of a, I think it was maybe a cashew container, but I just have a circular object here. I want to make sure that I'm going to be able to fit 4 of them on my page, so it can't be too awfully big. You could use a mug, you could use a canned food, you could use a canned soup or vegetables, something like that. You could use a little bowl, anything that's a small circular piece, maybe even a water bottle. Just find a small circular piece you can trace around. Now, I have 2 pieces of paper there, I only need 1. We're going to start by folding our paper to give ourselves those 4 sections. Normally we'd use a ruler, but since we don't know that everybody has a ruler at home, we're just going to fold our papers. First, we're going to fold it long ways. So you're doing hot dog style or vertical, tall, vertical fold here. So you've got 1 fold there, then you're going to unfold it. Folded it, and then unfolded it. Then we're going to fold it so that it has a horizontal line going across it. It means we're bringing the top up to the bottom, or hamburger style as many of you know it, and we're folding right here, the horizontal fold. Then we're gonna open it back up again. So we've got 1 fold that's vertical, 1 that's horizontal, and when we look, that means we've got 4 sections divided out here. I'm gonna draw my first emoji with you. Remember that you can pause me anytime you need to catch up, and your emoji doesn't have to be the same emoji as mine. Mine's just what I decided to draw. You get to decide what you want to create in your own pop art. Alright, so for my first emoji, I'm going to take that circular object and place it right in the center of the top square. So I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to hold it down tightly, and I'm going to trace around it with my pencil. You might have to pick up your fingers and move them. Just be careful not to move your object. Then, when I pick it up, I've got a circle right there. I've decided for my first emoji, I'm going to make that one that's super happy. His eyes are squinty and he's got a big smile. You don't have to make that emoji. You can make a different emoji. It's up to you. But if you want to draw along with me, that's the one I'm doing first. He's going to have these like rainbow lines for the tops of his eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 2 of those there. And then I'm going to do a smaller rainbow line inside. And just like this. I think I'm going to make this one a little bit smaller. He got a little excited there. Alright, and then for his mouth, I'm going to have a big straight line like this. and then almost like a half circle down below it. His teeth are also showing in this one, so I'm just going to draw 2 lines here and then draw a few small little lines inside to divide up his teeth. Now, there is no need to start coloring him in yet, because first you want to get 3 more emojis, 1 in each square, so that you have 4 total, so that when you're done, your paper will look more like this. For coloring, I've picked a couple different crayons here. I have just my regular yellow, I have what's labeled as a dandelion yellow, and I also have my yellow orange, and then of course I have a black. I also picked a blue to be a background color, but I'm first going to start with coloring my emoji. I know that around the edges of the emoji they get a little darker, so they're going to start lighter in the middle and then get darker as you go to the edge. So I'm going to go ahead and start coloring with my original yellow here, and I'm going to color them in really well, make sure that I don't leave much white space, I'm not scribbling. We're practicing coloring in the lines and filling the whole piece. Now I'm going to take my dandelion yellow and I'm going to go ahead and start kind of on the outside edges and just color a little extra there because it looks a little darker on the emoji pictures around the edges. So I'm not going to go all the way to the center, just around the edges of the circle with my dandelion yellow. And then lastly, I'm going to take my yellow orange and just very, very lightly go around the very, very edge of the circle to make it even a little bit darker there. Alright, once you have him colored in, you can take your black crayon and trace around the edges of your emoji, around the eyes, color them in. Same thing with the mouth if you want. You're creating it, it's your emoji, so you'll trace any lines that you wanted to make this emoji. And then once you have them colored all the way, you can go in and add your background. When you've got your emojis totally colored in, don't forget that you can always comment with a picture or drop them off at the school to be collected and graded. Happy creating, guys!